Hi guys, let us understand today what is JSP action tag. Okay, in last session we understood what is a scripting element and what are the declaration, right? I mean declarative or I say this is the directives, right? Okay, so let us talk about that now. So we understood the directive elements, we understood scripting elements. Now next, action tag. So what are the action tags we are having? Let us talk about this first. JSP actions attributes. So what are the JSP actions we are having? JSP action tag helps to perform tasks such as insertion of files, reusing bins, right? Forwarding a user to another page, instantiating object. So it help you to do all this task. Okay. Dynamically you can insert some page or forward to different page. So the syntax to use JSP action in JSP page is JSP colon action. So you can use JSP useBean, JSP set property, JSP get property, JSP param, JSP include, JSP forward, and there are some attribute it is having which you have to use. So there are many action tag that are available for Java server pages, like we are having include, forward, useBean, right? Not only this, apart from this we are having set property, get property, param, plugin and all. Okay, there are 7. Now action tag, you can look at here this table. So we are having JSP colon useBean, JSP colon get property, set property, forward, include, right? This guy will help you to use some Java beans. Okay, use sub component in your Java server pages. It is having 4 attribute: ID, class, scope and bean name. So let us say you are making some kind of Java bean class. Consider it is a imply. Okay, so what you can do here in the JSP page, you can add this tag JSP colon use bean. Okay, you should not close it here. There's a one attribute for that, that like ID, class, scope we can use. Okay, so what you can do here, you just write on here the bean and then write here what ID. ID equal to, you can just say obj, anything you can give here, and then class. So let us say class you are having imply, so just write here imply. Okay, if it is in some package, just write fully qualified class name, and then you can set here a scope equal to, let us say, request. Okay, like that, and you can just give the bean name, some name you can give for that. Here a scope could be request, could be session, could be application, right? So there are several scope we are having, and could be page. These are the 4 actually. So if I set scope request, this bean is available only for during the request period, right? If I say page, for that particular page. If I say session, then it is for that particular session, right? If I say application, scope equal to application, then this object is available throughout the application, right? So this is the whole line you can write for adding some component. What will happen if this line is getting translated to sublet, I mean from this JSP to sublet, internally it will create like this. imply object equal to new imply, and it will set some property. If you're saying request, this object will set with the request attribute. Okay. If you're saying application, it will set with the context. So internally this line is getting written instead of if writing this line. Okay. Set property. So I can say one thing more, that here this object is just an instance for this imply. With the help of this object you can call any method. Let us say imply is having method display. So I can just say here obj.disp. You can call this method. You can write somewhere this line. Okay. Set property will help you to call the setter method of this poso class, this component, right? Get property which help you to call the getter method of this class, right? So name and what property you want to call, name and what property. So name should match with this id, name should match with this id. So whatever id you are putting here in the setter method, set property and get property, you have to write name equal to obj. Okay. You want to set some value, you can pass the property name and value. Okay. Similarly, JSP forward. On what page you want to forward? So page name. Include, what page you want to include? So it is just having one attribute and this having two attribute plus. It's why whether the buffer should be flushed or not, right? If you are including. Clear? Now you can see the include tag here. JSP colon include. So we are writing here JSP colon include page. So you can pass some page name here and you can say plus equal to true. You can set some parameters here. So param name equal to value equal to this, right? This is syntax for JSP include. You can include any pages here. Similarly, for forward, you can forward to any page. So you can write JSP colon forward and page name. You can pass any URL here. Let us say you want to send this page with some parameters. So we are saying forward page name, and then we are saying param name equal to this, value equal to this. And this page can look for this name and they can get this value. So JSP forward colon open and JSP forward close. Okay. In between you have to write JSP param. So what are the tag we have seen? Action tag. JSP useBean, right? JSP set property, get property, right? And then we have seen JSP include, JSP colon forward and JSP colon param, right? So all these 6 tags we have seen here now. Now I have an example here. So you can see the useBean syntax here. So you can say useBean and then you can give ID name and then you can say scope and then you can say here class name, right? You can write class name, you can write fully qualified class name as it depends, right? Now here you can see the scope page, request, session and application. These are the 4 types of scope you can pass. That how long or what is the ability for that object? Is it like for this page only? Is it like for this request only? Is it like for this session only, right? So we use that way and we are closing the JSP useBean. Okay. Get property. Now with the help of the get property you can get the value of that property of the bean. So it is used to get the value of property in a bean, and simple JSP colon get property name and property you have to pass which property you are looking for. So name and property. Okay. Similarly we are having set property. If you want to set some new value with the property you can say name and then give the property and value, what value it will set to that property, right? There is a one JSP plugin also. So that's all about the action tag. Next we have to see the implicit object.